Oh man, I gotta turn my heater off. What was that? Oh, live stream notification. Let's see. Where am I? Where am I? I'm a little early. I'm trying to get my head on straight here. It's been a busy weekend. Where am I? Hey, oh, turn the speakers on. A little early. I'm trying to get my head on straight here. Okay. And okay, where am I? There we go. All right, we'll give people a couple of minutes to show up. How's that? Why do I have 2 glasses of water? Oh well. And while we're waiting a few minutes, I want to grab something quickly. Oop, keyboard. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Okay. Did I break my keyboard? I might have. No, I did not. What is that? What? Oh. F-lock function keys. Okay. All right. Stick that back under there where it belongs. So I got the PC's under the desk. And since I don't want to keyboard and stuff up here, the keyboard, I let the keyboard sit on top of it anyway. It's not ideal, but it works. So here we are. Sunday night. Live stream. Is it live or is it Memorex? So I thought today, well, I'm gonna work on the F5. Mainly, I'm gonna work on the F5. That's my plan. And then maybe if we got time, we'll talk about the Coral C. So anyway, so what I got here, I'll tell you where I'm at, and then we'll go from there. And what I'm doing. I decided to do this in an early Israeli scheme, which is really early, like what they would have put on their P-51s. So it's completely fictional, but. And if you were on last week, you saw the airbrush problems I had. So not only is this fictional, but I took a lot of liberties with gear wells and all that kind of stuff. So, and I've painted the gear wells since we saw it last, and the doors and stuff. So, and I'm gonna get all this stuff off of the tape and get this tape out of here. And I think it's going to be time to clean this mat again soon. Okay. Get rid of that one. And these are the doors. So the back sides are all, so basically everything is done. So it's just really final assembly time. But what I wanted to do here is go through and, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Is go through and show you how I do touch-ups a lot of time on stuff like this. So basically I do pad painting, sponge painting, and it works incredibly well. So get all this stuff out of here. Okay. I got to figure out what I'm going to do about these missiles. These missiles are not that great. So, I got 3 sponges here because I got 3 colors, and all we do is come under here, and I sprayed the wheel wells and all this stuff. I did all this in freehand for the specific reason that I could come in here and show you how to do this. Just making sure there's no big blobs sticking up or anything. A lot of times you can just knock stuff off like this. So I freehanded this whole thing, and I didn't do a great job. Like I said, because we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it better right now. As I get everything stuck together. Let me get these out of here too. You get all this tape off of here. Okay. So this might not be very exciting, but it works. Let me get on. Oh, you want that paint rack? Man, I'll tell you what. It really sucks that they're doing away with all the testers, doing away with all the colors and stuff, because, man, what is this? Is this something I need? No. My last scale hobbyist order. So all I'm going to do, like I said, is pad painting, just like you did in grade school, right? And I'm just going to come in here, and this may look really silly, but I will tell you that this is pretty much indistinguishable from airbrushing. Well, I shouldn't say pretty much. It is. It's indistinguishable from airbrushing. You can go along like I'm doing right here and touching this line up. And it'll blend right in. This paint's a little thin, but it's working. See this big old silver streak right here? You might have to do more than one coat. Depends on the consistency of your paint, but the bottom line is you can just come in here and fix this right up. And this is one of those things, it's like if you didn't tell anybody how you did it, they might not be able to figure it out. There's a good possibility they would just think you were that good. And I'm not that good. I'm good at enjoying building this stuff. That's what I'm good at. Okay. So I'm going to have to come back and do another coat in a little bit. Get that center there. I think my paint's drying on me is what's going on. All right. So how did your wash go? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm going to switch to the other. I'm going to switch to the straight part of the edge because I want to go along here. Okay. Oh, I'm sure it's fine. You'll do fine. All that weathering stuff is voodoo, man. It's all voodoo. You know, I made a mistake here. That mistake was ripping this thing off instead of cutting it off because I got that crappy edge. So I'm going to straighten this edge up. Like so. A little bit more paint. You know what? Where's my tube? There it is. Back, stand back. This is just a drink stir, and I cut the end of the wire off in an L. And it works good. All right, let's see here. I'm sure this is much better now. Oh yes, much better. Okay. Other than that guy right there, that looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna, I'll figure out something. I'll figure out some bogus thing for that, of why that's there. I'll make something up. Okay. So, you know, then that's probably not too easy to see there. Well, it'll be a lot more obvious what's going on this side. So let me get this out of my way, and then we'll come back And we got the early tan. So what? So that G10, that's the old monogram G10 that you're working on, right? I'm sure it looks great. It's a good old kit. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Where's my knife that I just had? What did I do with my knife? Are you kidding me? I literally lost my I mean, I can use this, but the point is where to go. That's not a good thing, losing track of your X-Acto knife. Oh, there it is. Yeah, more cleaning. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I guess I could tell you. So couple things. One, I've decided this is my preferred way of doing this live stream once a week. And maybe I'll just start doing it more than once a week, and you know, maybe just when I get down here I'll just do the live stream or something, but this is going to be my primary way of interfacing, I guess. I guess we'll call it that. So it's convenient for me, and it works for me, and hopefully it works for everybody else. I mean, you know, if you're not here for the live stream, you can watch it later, right? You don't have to be here for the live stream. And I just ramble anyway. So, you know, it's really not any different than the stuff that I just record and play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the next color, and here's a perfectly good example. You see all this overspray in here? So here's what we're going to do. Yeah. So I'm just going to come in here like this. And I'm really overdoing it just for the sake of letting you see it on camera, but so I will tell you that this works a lot better with enamels than it does these acrylics, and I'm not really sure why. But my experience is that the enamels just seem to blot better. Blot, that's a technical term, blot. And yeah, I'm not sure why that is. You know, I'm just going to put some here on a paper. And yeah, I'm not sure why, but that's the way it seems to work. So all I'm doing, I'm just really looking for places where there's a lot of overspray, where I don't want it out in here. And you know, that are obviously out of scale. I'm not necessarily trying to do a hard edge, but any place that there's drops like this or whatever, I'm concentrating on those areas. And I realize it kind of looks horrible right now, but when we're all done playing with this thing, it'll look just fine. We're going to have to paint the combing over the instrument panel before we put the windshield in, but that's all right. So my plan with this is I'm not really going much further than where we're at. I am going to I went and got my decal binder down before. That's what I was doing before, is digging my decal binder out, and I'm going to go in there and find a set of decals for this thing. Pretty good right there, and that looks, well, I gotta get that, and right, yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna come in there with the other stuff later, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be, I think that's supposed to be painted, so I'm gonna come in here and okay. Good. Throw that one away. Okay, get that one out of the way. Now what? A drink of water. Okay. So, I'm actually going to give that a few minutes to dry before I go on to the next color so that I have somewhere to grab it. And while I'm waiting for that, I have, this is my decal binder. I have had this binder since I was in college. And it's got people's phone numbers in it, and one of them here is Jeff S. And his number at that time ended in 4922. Holy cow. Hey, here's yeah, anyway. Oh, here's some of my old paint mixing cards too. There's a bunch of stuff in here. So I think somewhere in here I have there it is. Israeli sheet for F4s and F15s. And I think that's going to work just great on this F5. And it's got some, looks like it's got some kill markings or something. They're out of register. But yeah, so we're gonna use that. Okay, yeah. Well, let's see. Harper's Hobby, San Bernardino, 1984, $2.98. When the operator had to connect you. Yeah, pretty much, huh? Okay, so I don't think I'm going to need a smaller piece, so I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this in half. Yeah, how's that? Man, I spent this afternoon cleaning my airbrush out, and I bent the needle. So I had to screw around with that, and that was not fun. That's never fun. Messing with the needle is never fun. Oh yeah, that should be plenty. Plenty. Alright, so I'm just going to come in here. And any place I think it needs it, I'm just going to freshen it up a little bit. You know, anywhere where the lines look kind of funky or whatever. Or you want to carry something over, like right here. Right here, I want to make this a little bit, take that whole area right there and just kind of expand it out a little bit and kind of work this in here, straighten this up a little bit here. Work on this. This is kind of ugly right there. You know, just kind of filling it out a little bit. Right here, you see how this is all, I had this big run right here. So I'm actually going to take this and go back over that and just kind of fill it out. And it just kind of blends it back in with everything else. Okay. I think that's where I want to be. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to call it good there. All right, get rid of that. So, you know, this is... You might be looking at this and going, what the heck? You could do a lot of... There's a lot of things that could be improved on that. And you're right. Excuse me a second. Cough medicine. Actually, it is my cough medicine, but I'm not coughing right now. So, anyway. And you're right. You know, it could be better, and I could spend some more time on it and whatnot. But this is about fun, right? And spending a crap ton of time on fixing everything that's wrong with this thing is not going to be fun. And it's you know, if I wanted a really high-end, I guess, F5 kit, they're out there. And if I was going to do that, you know, personally, I prefer the F5A. So yeah, it's not up to snuff as far as a contest build or something like that. But for my purposes here and what we're doing here right now today, this is where we're at. So now I need to paint this. So I need to put this on here and see. So it doesn't quite go to there. Okay, that's what I need to know. So I'm going to come in here and where is it? Is it? I'm like almost out of this. I'm almost out of a lot of my enamels, and I've come to the point where I realize I'm probably going to have to do something else, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Because, you know, they've worked so well for me over the years, and not just me, but other people too, and now I feel like I'm kind of in this predicament where I have to come up with some other solution, and I don't want to. So anyway. So I'm just gonna, this stuff is, I don't know how many years I've had this bottle, but it's been over thinned at times, so it's not not necessarily the best. I don't usually worry. I don't worry about thinning it because it's so. Oh, what am I saying? It's plenty thin for one thing, but it's been abused. It's been abused. And it's a little thin. The pigments, the pigment's been thinned out so many times over the years that it. Okay. Paper towel. Where's my paper towels? Man. I'm gonna have to. Time for a basic supply run, like paper towels and all that stuff. Oh, so what I was talking about earlier in the beginning. So I'm going to probably going to start working on this basement, and in the process I'm going to work on the shop here. And what I'm going to do is what I'm thinking is I'm going to put some shelves up here somewhere where where I can display stuff in the shop. Yeah, I've got a display case up in our living room, and then I've got some shelves out here in the other part of the basement that I wouldn't say they're display shelves, but they've got models in various stages from complete to incomplete that are on them. So those shelves got to come down. So I'm what am I thinking? Anyway, I got to do something in there. Oh, I guess I could have painted the tires while I was at it. We'll do those. I'll do those sometime during the week. So, yeah. So am I going to have... So are we going to get the decals today? We might. We just might. Wow, we've already been on for half an hour. Do you believe that? I can't believe that. That's crazy. So what I could do is... start my water. Start my crock pot. I could start my crock pot. Or we could set this aside and... because I don't think the crock pot will heat up fast enough. What am I going to use off of here? What am I going to... those shark mouths definitely won't fit. Nor will the stripes. So I think all I'm going to use is some of the bat. I'm not going to use much off of here. I'll use this. I will use these. And these are squadron badges, so which one do I want? I think this one's pretty cool. Okay, that's what we're going to use. Now, these are really old decals, right? This is liquid decal film. So I'm going to put this on these decals so that they don't come apart on me in the water. So what you need to do, or what you need to remember with this stuff, is that it creates a solid film. So if I just go across all four of these, it's basically going to turn it into one decal. And we don't want that for obvious reasons. So you got to kind of pay attention to what you're doing with it. I'm not crazy about it, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? So just put it on there like that. Put it on here like this. Do the same on these. You can use clear coat, dull coat, gloss coat, Krylon. The Krylon stuff works good. Whatever, all that stuff is fine. 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 18 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm going to say, why would it say 18 minutes? And get it out of there. I don't have any idea what this stuff is. But it works. I can tell you it works. So, yeah. Now what? I was going through some stuff up on the shelves that I was talking about out there, and I found I've got this old Hasegawa F4U4, and the decals started peeling off of it and whatnot. So at one time I decided to take all the decals off of it and redo it. And well, here, let me grab it. So, you know, it never all came off, or I didn't get it all off at once, or whatever. And in the process, the paint started coming. You know, it's got problems. Anyway, so I got him thinking about messing with it again the other day, and I can't find the prop. So I'm sweeping the floor the other day, and well, here's the prop hub. So yeah, so I don't know what to do with this thing. I mean, I was gonna re-decal it and stuff and put it back on the display, but I don't know. It's kind of a funky kit. It's an alright kit. I don't know. I have not touched the Tamiya ones. They're sitting there. The decals I'm pretty happy with at the moment. So I'll be finishing those at some point. My wife saw her brother last week, and he asked about the Midway. And I haven't really done anything more than I showed you guys last week, but so where's the flight deck? I made some decisions about it though. I had a really busy week and everybody's been sick, so I haven't really been down here that much. But so I'm going to remove all these lines and stuff. I made these cuts, so now I need to cut this sponson back. So I'm going to have to cut this back and then you know, reshape it here, and this one needs to be cut back. No, I need to add a piece here, and I need to add a piece here, and that'll be it, you know, other than reconstructing the catwalks and stuff. And then I'm just going to build it out of the box. These elevators will be a little bit too deep, but I'm not going to get too caught up in this thing. I could spend a lifetime on this. But, you know, and it's kind of a shame that somebody doesn't actually do a better, well, at least Midway kit, because I think at one time the Midway was the largest carrier in the fleet, wasn't it? Or not? I think that's true, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So what do I do with my book? There it is. Okay, so we got our decals, and I'm going to move these over here. I'm going to cut these up right now. just so it's done. Spacing out. Not really spacing out. I'm like most, not most, but like a lot of fat ass Americans, excuse my French. I'm type 2 diabetic, and I have been for 20 years, and anyway, I finally got put on insulin last month, which I'm fine with. You know, I've been kind of going down that road for 2 years. It's like, just give me the stuff and let's get this over with. But I'm adjusting. Put it that way. I'm adjusting to it, and some days it's a little harder than others. But it's good. It's good. I'm not complaining. I just realized something. I only have 4 national insignia. Wow. You know what? Let's just go with 4. Why not? 1, 2, yeah. Both. We'll just do them on the wings. And that'll be the end of it. And then we'll we'll weather the snot out of it, and it'll be great. And we'll do that next week. Oh, next week. So next week I'll schedule a pre-recorded thing. Oh, was that the midway when you after the big volcano thing? Yeah, I remember those stories. Yeah, they sent your cars back, right? They brought your cars all the way back. Your trashed cars that you told them to leave them there. And they brought them anyway. Wow, our government at work. So, all right. So what's next? Let's talk about what's next, because this will be done next week. The video that I'll do on this, that I'll play next Sunday at this time, will be the end of this thing. So here's what I'm trying to do, because I've got, the main ShutterAce page, and then I've got the Monogram Models Clubhouse. So my goal is always to have at least one monogram kit on the go for that page, and then to also be working on something else, because as much as I love my monogram kits, man cannot live on monogram alone. They're challenging, and sometimes they can be more challenging than you want to deal with right then and there. So I'm thinking one that I've been wanting to build forever that I've never built, and I mean forever when I mean like from when I was a kid, is the C-47. And I have one. It's in a bag because it was in a flood, and so I don't have any decals or anything. But that's not an issue. But So I'm kind of leaning toward that one. It's the original first version with the paratroopers and all that stuff. And I don't know exactly what I want to do with it. I mean, I do know what I want to do with it. So I worked with this guy, Frank. And not too many years ago. And Frank's a great guy. Intelligent guy. Good people person. Good manager. Good boss. Smart guy. And his dad was a C-47, I want to say radio man, crew chief radio man. I don't think he was a pilot. Anyway, in the Mediterranean Theater, 12th Air Force. So, which just happens to be one of probably my favorite theater to model is the whole North Africa, Italy thing, because I mean the conditions were brutal, you know, and so anyway, and Frank told me that aircraft had a name. There's no pictures or anything of it, but so yeah, I got to get in touch with him and find out, and I'm just gonna make it, you know, something along those lines. Maybe not an exact tribute thing or something, but something that's somehow tied to that. So that'll be fun and interesting. And then as far as other stuff goes, Russell Goslin, I don't know if you guys have seen Russell's videos. Russell used to be out here in Colorado. Him and I met at Nationals in 2012 or 13, or when was it? 2013, and they were here. And he wants to do a buddy build with that other Corsair that I got. And eBay. I should have turned that off, but sorry. So that's going to be coming up at some point, and I have going back to monogram stuff, I have a monogram DO335 on the way that I want to do at some point. And I built one of those when I was a kid. So anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with at least the monogram stuff. So we'll be doing the monogram stuff. I'm going to be working on this carrier, and I'm going. My whole thing is I'm really kind of getting away from the perfection thing even more than I have been for a while. You know. And I'm more, to me, it's more about getting things completed at this point. And I look up here and I say, yeah, sure it is. But really, that's kind of my goal now. You know, I'm just being realistic. I'm going to be 52 this year. And I got a lot of kits over there. I mean, not a lot compared to a lot of to probably. Well, I probably have the least of anybody in my club, but you know, 100 kits. If you got 100 kits and you build 10 a year, that's 10 years, and you know, that's a long time, even as fast as a year goes by now. So that's really kind of where I'm going to be focusing on from now moving forward is really getting those big projects that I want to get. You know, those ones that are really, I mean, I got a lot of stuff over there that's not really that important to me, but I got you know, quite a few things that I really want to get done, and I need to actually get over and talk to my local VFW so I can unload some stuff on them. So I got places to put other things, but so that's just kind of the plan. But other than that, yeah. You know what I do want to do, since we're just kind of waiting on these decals, and I'm probably not going to get to that right now. I could paint the tires, but that wouldn't be very exciting to watch. Let me switch over here to, I'm going to switch over to where you can see my desktop. And okay, this is going to get freaky for a while. Okay, hang on. Whoa, there we go. Okay. Well, we got a few minutes. Let's, sorry, I'm getting all tangled up in my cord. I want to show you where I spend a lot of my time on the web. My web time stuff. So, first go over here. This is my personal page. We don't need to worry about that, but yeah. Hang on. Where is it? Oh. So here is the ShutterAce page, right? So that's obviously my main modeling page. This has been my handle for years, and hello. Oh, you know what? It's freaking slow because I'll guarantee you my two boys have just got my network saturated because they're playing Battlefield or something. So, you know, I post stuff here from time to time, not as much as I probably should, but dorky stuff. But so if you're on Facebook, you may want to subscribe to that. Then there's also Monogram Models Clubhouse. And this is a monogram only group. And that what that means is, you know, no anything that was originally monogram, pre-merger, even if it's like the B17G kit in the Revell box, that's fine. You know, if there was a B17F kit in the monogram box, no, because the B17F is a Revell kit, not a monogram kit. And I'm kind of a jerk about that because, you know, there was another monogram, or there is probably, it's probably still out there, monogram group on Facebook. And it basically ended up being a free-for-all, and people were posting about all this other stuff, and everybody, oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And it just got diluted with a bunch of stuff that had nothing to do with monogram. So it's like, well, why is this a monogram group if it's not really about monogram? So I started this. So yeah, feel free to join this. It does ask you some questions when you send your request. I'm kind of picky about letting people in. Not that I'm picky, but you know, answering the questions at least tells me that you're somewhat serious. I will go and look at your profile to see if there's any modeling stuff. And I understand if there's not, you know, so because a lot of people don't build anymore, but this is all, you know, part of their childhood and stuff, and I get it. So, but you know, there's, like I said, we try and just keep it monogram only, and you know, these some pretty good old stuff. So anyway, so there's that. So those are my pages. I spend a lot of time over here at Average Joe's. This is a great group. I've been in other groups, and I'm not a big drama person, and I'm not a big oh, what am I going to say? I'm obviously perfectly fine with helping people. Something's bugging me, sorry. and I think that's what we should do, you know, is we should all be helping each other and whatnot. But you find there's a lot of groups. Well, there's groups out there where there's a lot of the people are, for lack of a better term, lazy, and they don't actually try something or try and solve a problem before they start asking. You get a lot of the same people over and over and over again asking basic question, and it's like, okay, a bunch of people already told you how to do this. Have you actually tried to do it yet, or are you just, you know, it's hard to explain, but it's these, you know, there's nothing to be afraid of here. It's just plastic. but anyway, going back to Average Joe's, this is a great group. There's all skill levels on here. Everybody's friendly. Everybody helps each other. There's not a bunch of ridiculous stuff going on, and yeah. So this is pretty much where I spend a whole bunch of time. And interestingly enough, my graveyard auction thing just went off. So let's go over here. As far as where I bought kits and sometimes sell kits and whatnot, scale model graveyard. This is a good, you know, this is a good group. If you're looking, I've been watching this thing. I have one of these. This is a really awesome kit. They're kind of rare, and they're expensive, or they can be expensive. And this one, is it still at like 45 bucks? Hang on. So what they do is they run auctions on the weekends and straight sales during the week. Good group. They really pay attention to what's going on and weed people out and whatnot. So you don't really, it's, you know, you don't have to be concerned with getting ripped off necessarily. They really try to keep it clean. Yeah, $45. That's a good price for that thing. And you know, I bet, well, let's see, how many, okay. Did they have this? They don't have the sale tab anymore, so it's hard to tell. But, you know, typically there's 800 or 900 kits on auction every weekend. So anyway, so much for that. So now let's go over here. Hey, look at that. It's us. there we are on YouTube. So let me go over here to, hang on. Hey Ken, how are you? Jeff finished it. Okay. Okay. Let me. I'm going to duplicate this window, and then I'm going to go to. Oh, look at that! That's just freaky. Stop! Don't do that. Okay. Going home. Going home. Man, this is terribly slow. I mean, I live out in the boonies, but I got 100 megabit. Okay. Some of my favorites as far as channels would be Plasmo, of course. I love watching Plasmo. I'm just going to go through these real quick, but so if you haven't seen Plasmo before, David Demick he's out of the Netherlands or something somewhere. Does really great work. He's got he's got a full arsenal of techniques. I'll put it that way, and he just does great stuff. And you know, he's got some good tutorials. The tutorial on washes. He's pretty amazing. I like I don't really watch TV, but I'll sit there at night and have a glass of tea and watch David build. So good stuff. So there's Plasmo. There's let's see. I watch so there's Brett G. If you guys have seen Brett's channel, I'd say he's kind of like me. He's kind of like my channel. If you like this style, just hanging out. He's a little more organized than I am. He's a lot more organized than I am. And he does a lot of beginners type stuff for beginners. Things targeted to beginners. And so it's, you know, good channel. He's got a lot of videos, and I enjoy watching his stuff. You know, there's the big stuff out there that everybody knows. So I'm trying to go through some of the guys that smaller channels that I like. Russell Goslin. Russ, I don't know. He doesn't post as much as he used to, but Russ builds mainly armor. He has a lot of does some good tutorial stuff and whatnot, and kind of, you know, hangout stuff, and him and I are going to do a buddy build here at some point in the future. But good guy, nice guy. And let's see here. You've probably all seen Andy's Hobby Headquarters. I don't go to Andy's much anymore, because for me it's kind of like, and this isn't meant in a bad way, but to me it's like scale model, fine scale model, or whatever the hell it's called anymore. And like the Discovery Channel, you know, it's like when like the Discovery Channel or History Channel came out, and like the first 3 years everything was new, and then you just kept finding the same thing over and over again, because that's just the way it was. And that's the way it is with me with Fine Scale Modeler, and even with Andy's Hobby Headquarters. It's like, you know, it's the same thing over and over and over again, and which is fine. he's got new viewers come on and whatnot, but once you've seen them do what they do, the way they do it, then there's really not much more to see. The good thing is he's really into Tamiya, and so he goes through all the new kits and reviews the new kits, mainly the armor stuff, and you get real good reviews of the stuff that's coming out. If you're into really well thought through discussions on any modeling subject you can think of, and somebody that really researches their stuff and whatnot, Will Pattison, great videos. I mean, he's I like him because this is what works well, and this is why it works well, and he goes through and he does the research and he does the testing and he takes the time to explain it, and he takes the time to put these videos out, and I think that they're good. I can't say that I've watched all 200 of them or whatever he's up to now, but yeah, he's a good place to go if you want to know how to do something, put it that way. Let's see, how about if you want to do diorama stuff, what is his name? Hang on, I can't remember the guy's name. Boulder Creek Road. Okay, this guy, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Luke Towan. Scenery and stuff, guy's amazing. Does amazing stuff. I mean, he's a trained guy, but yeah, if you want to do a diorama or something, this is the place to go. Is Boulder Creek Railway, and I just watched some of his stuff. He's got videos on doing whatever you can imagine, and pretty amazing. Trying to think of a shipbuilder guy. I'm good, Ken. I'm good. I think I'm good. Nobody's told me any different, so I must be okay. Sorry, I have to flip back and forth between screens, so I can't keep up with the feed. Trying to think. I saw there was somebody. There's a bunch of different stuff that I mean, YouTube is just full of stuff, and those are the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head that aren't super popular. I mean, there's Dukes. Dukes is okay. I don't really watch him that much. What's this? It's Scalaton? Is that the guy? Scalaton. Is this who I'm thinking of? Yeah, Scalaton does some pretty amazing aircraft builds. Yeah, so I like watching his stuff too. That's another one I can sit there and drink a cup of tea and watch, and oh wow, I just had somebody else on my head and I forgot. Who was it? Anyway, I'm just blabbering, but so hey, if you guys got any favorites you like to watch that I haven't mentioned, feel free to put them in the comments, yeah, we'll go from there. We'll mention them. I wouldn't mind just doing a a what? A what? A what? Okay, where is it? There it is. Man, you know what? I think my computer needs to be rebooted. Holy cow. Okay, there we go. Oh, well, I think that's it. I think that's where I'm going to stop. I think I have to go cook dinner, or we might have a mutiny. If I don't go cook dinner, they might cook me, right? And like I said, next weekend, the reason I can't do a live stream next weekend is it's my daughter's 18th birthday. So that's my middle one. So my oldest son turns 21 this year. So he's really looking forward to that. I'm not, he is. My daughter turns 18 on Thursday. But they're having her party Sunday. And we just figured out, well, I just figured out today, I'm like, that's Super Bowl Sunday. That's probably why you haven't got a whole lot of RSVPs. What are you going to do now, right? So I'll be at that. So that's why I won't be on here. And but I will do the final F5 thing, and so that'll be on. And like I said, we're going to continue on this aircraft carrier. I got to get this thing done. I think my brother-in-law is getting antsy for it. And I think that's it. I'm winging it. Can you tell? I just make this up as I go along. I was thinking today, I was like, maybe I ought to get a teleprompter and actually prepare. No, that would never happen. Even if I had it, it wouldn't happen. So hey, yeah, I'm gonna go cook dinner, and I don't know. I'm kind of wiped out. Had a long weekend. So that's it. Take care of the people you love, and we will see you next time. Bye.